Hi, I am so glad that you could make it today. We are going to have a quick talk about water and why is it important to appreciate what we have. It is often said that we understand the true value of something after we've lost it. But this can't be the case when it comes to water, as it is a necessity for survival of all life forms. Having said that, I personally find it very hard to imagine a life without water. It helps not only humans, but also animals. Water is the home to all aquatic life. Today, beyond drinking, water is used in various other forms, like cleaning, cooking, sports activities, etc. Water is also the main source of nutrition for plants. In my opinion, we, more often than not, have taken water for granted and have not lived up to the responsibility of this precious natural resource. Without water, we wouldn't be able to cook, let alone washing vegetables. As you can see in the videos in front of you, you may realize that water is in fact used for many more uses than your everyday life. When we humans couldn't find answers on land to our problems, we simply turned our heads towards the ocean and went offshore. We used water to build offshore wind farms and hydroelectric dams. Without these, we would certainly not be where we are today. In return, what have we done for water? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We have taken it for granted and misused the resource for our own selfish gains. No one understands the repercussions if water was to vanish from the face of the earth. You know what? Let's dive in to see exactly what happens. See the presentation for the gist or hear me out for the details. Every living thing on Earth would die, since water is a large component of all known living cells. Every plant, animal, fungus, etc. would all desiccate completely and crumble to dust. With all water vapor gone from the atmosphere, the sky might change color and become a reddish tint due to the high oxygen content. Without water vapor acting as a greenhouse gas, the surface temperature would drop substantially, maybe even to below freezing temperatures, but that wouldn't matter as much with nothing left to freeze. The oceans would be laid bare, dwarfing the Grand Canyon so utterly as to make it a joke, but the ocean floor would be extremely bright, covered under several inches to feet of salt that snowed down to the floor when the water disappeared. As time went on, the world would take on a reddish tint, like Mars, as a thin layer of oxidized dust settled over everything, constantly distributed and deposited by the wind. There would still be wind, as the atmosphere would be heated by sunlight, but no weather anymore. Just the occasional bolt of lightning or sheet lightning, when the atmosphere builds enough charge. The new red face of the Earth would only be marred by the eruption of volcanoes on the surface, which would look from orbit much more violent and frequent than it does now, without the oceans there to hide all the once underwater volcanoes where new seafloors are made. In what was the North Pacific, Tamu Massif would now be visible, a volcano formation on Earth comparable in size to Olympus Mons on Mars. Finally, the world would remain this way forever, no new life ever appearing again, unless a series of lucky comets carrying massive amounts of ice struck the Earth and restored the hydrosphere. Incredibly unlikely now that the solar system as established and Earth's gravity well cleared its close vicinity long ago. Still, with several billion more years to go in the life of the solar system, the possibility of that happening is not zero. That's what would happen if all the water on Earth disappeared. Phew, that went long. Okay, enough of the rant. Let's take a moment to appreciate what we have. Let's look at this beautiful stream for a moment. I'll shut up, just enjoy the sound. Now, let's look at the magnificent Niagara Falls. It's honestly my favorite water body on Earth. Water has given so much to us, like rains, eventually greenery, preserving all forms of life, being a source of vital nutrition for all organisms. It is also the reason for beautiful natural phenomenon like rainbows. See, you don't have to be a superhuman to appreciate and conserve water. It can be anyone, right from an adult to a child. Trust me, it doesn't matter. Everyone should do their bit. You know what? I feel like stopping for another appreciation moment. Just look how pretty and calming it is. Then I'll conclude, don't worry.